So in this episode, we're going to look at units and formula in the frame of ratios. So it's important to know how to convert between two different units. So two different units you might want to convert between are miles and kilometers. So if you want to know distances and someone's quoted it in miles, but you want it in kilometers, you need to know how to convert between the two. So we know, or you need to know, that 5 miles is the same as 8 kilometers. So what we can say is that the ratio 5 miles to 8 kilometers is consistent with any calculation that you want to work out when you're converting between miles and kilometers. So if we want to find 25 miles in terms of kilometers, we know that 5 will need to be multiplied by 5. So 5 miles will need to be multiplied by 5 to get to 25 miles. So we need to do the same for 8 kilometers. Because of the ratio, we need to keep the ratios the same. So 8 kilometers times 5 gives us 40 kilometers. So what that tells us is 25 miles is the same as 40 kilometers. And when we're converting units of volume, we need to be careful because we need to remember that 1 centimeter cubed is first of all the same as 1 milliliter. And we can convert units of area in this way too. So 1 meter squared is 1 meter by 1 meter, and 1 meter cubed is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. But we need to be a little bit careful when we have numbers that aren't 1. So 1 million cube centimeters, is 100 centimeters by 100 centimeters by 100 centimeters. You know that because if you times those 300, so 100 times 100 times 100 will give us 1 million. And we can also convert units using fractions. So for example, if we've got 10 kilometers and we divide it by the number of hours, so say we have 1 hour. So if we've got 10 kilometers, that's the same as 10,000 meters. And we can divide that by 1 hour, which is the same as 60 minutes times 60 seconds. And that will give us the answer in meters per second. So you can take kilometers per hour and you can convert that into meters per second by changing the units of the distance and the time. So in this example, 10 kilometers per hour, you can work out as 10,000 meters divided by 360 seconds, which is the same as 25/9 meters per second. So when we want to convert 10 kilometers per hour to meters per second, first of all, think, okay, 10 kilometers per hour is 10 kilometers divided by 1 hour. And in 1 hour, in terms of seconds, there is 60 seconds times 60 minutes, which is 3,600 seconds. And write 10 kilometers in meters. Well, 1 kilometer is the same as 1,000 meters. So 10 kilometers is equal to 10 times 1,000 meters, which is 10,000 meters. Now to work out the answer, we take the number of meters divided by the number of seconds. So 10,000 divided by 3,600. And that gives us 100. It was the same as 100 divided by 36 if we cancel down. And that gives us 25/9. So if we want to write the units, in this example, meters per second, because we divided the number of meters by the number of seconds. Now remember, converting between miles and kilometers. Now 5 miles is the same as 8 kilometers. So we need to remember that ratio for the exam. Now, we can also use formula triangles. Now, to get any of these 3 quantities as the subject of the formula, what you do is you cover up one section of the formula triangle and put whatever remains on the other side of the triangle into an equation. So to make a formula triangle for speed, well, what we do is we have on the top, in the top section of the triangle, we have distance. On the left section, we have bottom left section, we have speed. And on the bottom right, we have time. So if you want to work out the speed, you cover speed up, and that tells you that it's distance over time. If you want to calculate the time, then you know that you cover up the time, and that gives distance divided by speed. And if you want to know the distance, you cover up distance, and the speed and the time are next to each other, and that tells you times the two of them. So speed times time will give you distance. And that's the same, you can think of that with the units as well. So if you think of the units of speed, you can just take the distance and dividing the units of the distance and divide it by the units of the time. So if we've got another formula triangle here with pressure in the bottom left, area in the bottom right, and force at the top, we can say that force is equal to pressure times area. And if we've got another formula triangle where density in the bottom left, volume in the bottom right, and mass at the top, we can say that volume is equal to mass divided by density. Now, again, let's have a look at converting 1 kilometre per hour into meters, 25 kilometres per hour into meters per second. So remember, 25 kilometres per hour is the same as 25 kilometres divided by 1 hour. And 1 hour is 60 seconds times by 60 minutes, which is 3,600 seconds. And write 25 kilometres in meters. Well, remember, 1 kilometre is 1,000 meters. So 25 kilometres is 25 times 1,000, which is 25,000 meters. Put in those values to work out the speed in meters per second. We've got 25,000 meters divided by 3,600 seconds would give us 125 over 18 meters per second.